Hey guys, this is West Rally Team. I'm making a video sort of show off my rally build and progress, and then talk a little bit about what I'm going to do with this car, upgrades planned for the future, and quality of life, all that stuff with having a ST185 Celica all-track. Um, so we'll get into it a little bit and talk about the car, and then continue on from there. So looking at the car, we're going to cover a few main things: wheel and tire setup, suspension setup, and then we'll go over the future plans for the car as far as upgrades, modifications, stuff like that. So starting off, the wheels and tires, I'm running Team Dynamics Motorsports wheels, Rally Pro wheels with MRF tires supplied by Tire Streets. And then we've got, uh, as far as suspension, YSR, Yellow Speed Racing, Gravel Pro coilovers that have been corner balanced, aligned, set up all properly by Toge Factory. And then the stock spring rates that those coilovers come with. Now, I could run different wheels and tires to be in a different class, which I'll go over with my plans with the car. That'll kind of explain why I'm running these wheels and tires. But I could run like snow tires and like a less aggressive, obviously, tread that are more rated for like street use and snow use. These are strictly for uh, gravel, rally, dirt, stuff like that. Technically, they're not DOT legal, so you can't be driving around on them all over the place. They do. It's the medium compound. They do offer a soft compound and a medium compound, as far as compounds go. Uh, the tire size I'm running is 195 65 R15. 15-inch wheels are pretty much the set standard for rally cars, rallycross cars, um, and plus they're sort of easy to come by for these cars, and I feel like they look the best for this type of build. So period correct, uh, series correct, and whatever you want to say for these cars. So under the hood, we've got just a stock Gen 2 3S GTE that comes with the Celica all-track. Modification wise, nothing real serious. I mean, as far as anything, I've just done some quality of life maintenance issues, fixed a couple persisting issues I've had, and then put all the stock intake air box back, cleaned up some of the pulleys. The car's a little rough. It was in an accident on this side, so this sort of section has been grafted in, core support, all that stuff. So it's never going to be a show car. I would feel bad taking a really good example all track and thrashing on it. These cars are quite rare. It took me a long time to find this car. So I feel better about having a car that was previously in an accident, repaired. Everything's all straight, but it's never going to be a collector's car. Um, so talking about some issues I've had with this car, we picked it up in the winter and immediately blew brake line when I got it back from Green Bay, Wisconsin, down to Chicago. Uh, so I had done brakes all the way around. I had to repair the lines, replace the master cylinder, and then vacuum bled / pressure bled all the braking system. This is a non-ABS car, so usually you'll see like in this section, so on some of the all tracks, they have ABS pump. This one's non-ABS, it's a 1990, and so that was one of the issues I had. And then I've had dealing with a couple leaks antifreeze, oil, resealed the top of the engine, cleaned up some of the cooling system, cleaned up a lot of the connectors. This 30, 40-year-old plastic is starting to go. So a lot of these connectors, like the O2 sensor connectors, alternator connectors, all up here by the engine, were starting to crack and corrode and break away. And then just pulleys, belts, all that stuff to kind of keep the car healthy. Like I said, it was in an accident, so obviously the hood, the bumper, some of the stuff don't match. But we're gonna change a couple of things here with the car, hood and bumper being two of the main things for aesthetic purposes. But yeah, so we'll move on from the engine real quick, but I don't have anything crazy planned for the engine, at least right now. I've got a manual boost controller coming to sort of up the pressure into the intake here. I think it's stock. It's around 7 or 8 pounds, and I'm trying to push it towards like 12 pounds before the fuel cut comes from the car. I think it's around 12 pounds where there's a fuel cut from the factory. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the channel once I get that stuff sort of in and going, and we'll talk about it. So interior wise, as the car sits, it's pretty stock. I mean, besides the airbag that would have said all track on it, because the airbag deployed in the accident. It's really, yeah, it's pretty stock. I think it is entirely stock actually, besides the radio and the airbag. I've got a couple things that will go in there. Seat, possibly steering wheel, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the future for this. I like the way the interior looks now, as far as like it's kind of comfortable to just sort of drive around and tool around town in right now. But I think as I get more serious, or if I get more serious with rallycross and maybe stage rally, obviously this will change a lot. You'll be having a cage and all that timing equipment, cage safety equipment, stuff like that. So yes, interior is pretty stock. It's got the factory adjustable seats with the lumbar support. So you can look over here, little like lumbar bolster support switch. So you can close the bolsters, change the lumbar, lower the seat, raise the seat, all that stuff. So it's a pretty nice car for being a 1990. The car only has about 111,000 miles. So it's not crazy high, but it is, for a turbo engine, it's not low. So we'll have to do some more maintenance on it. But so now I just wanted to touch on a few of the modifications I've got going on. Nothing super crazy. It's all mostly cosmetic, a little bit performance. First off, we've got the stock Carlos Sainz / Rally Competition intercooler. It's a water-to-air intercooler that a little bit more efficient. Works a little bit better with the hood setup that I want to run. It has its own cooling system that circulates through a Bosch electric pump and a heat exchanger, and then back up on top of the engine where the air-to-air intercooler would be. This goes and cools the intake temperatures down a lot more. Hopefully, it would make us a little more reliable, maybe a little more power. And then second off, we've got our bucket seat. This is a Sparco Grid Q. I picked this up from a local guy who's building some rally cars here in Chicago. Nothing serious, just some bolstering, padding. I'm a little bit wider of a guy, so it's a kind of a wider seat, fits me good. Um, and then some more cosmetic stuff. I've got a Rally light pod that'll go mounted on the hood, kind of give it that Rally feel. It's fiberglass, really nicely made. It came from France off of eBay actually, and I think the guy still makes these. Um, he makes the bumper corner pods too. Um, Getting it here was a little expensive. I mean, it was like probably a few $100s for the pod itself, but shipping with tariffs and all that stuff from France was, I think it was around, $400 or $500 for the just the light pod, and then it comes empty, so you gotta fill the holes obviously with your lights of choice. And then bumper that I've got is the Carlos Sainz / Rally Competition bumper. This is a KBD reproduction. Let me move this real quick. The KBD reproduction's, I think, polyurethane, so it flexes quite a bit, and it can hopefully hold up to a lot of the abuse, as opposed to fiberglass. One, because the fiberglass ones are more fragile, and two, fiberglass ones aren't really for sale in the United States for some reason. So this was my easiest, cheapest option, and hopefully the best option as far as like longevity wise, because it's polyurethane and hopefully can stand up some more of the abuse, rock chips, stuff like that. Won't crack. Um, So all in all, my goal with this is to just sort of have fun and see what I can do as far as building a car, taking it to the track, and racing it. I've owned a lot of cars kind of sporadically through my life. Nothing as sort of serious as this as far as like racing goes. This will be sort of a test my abilities and confidence level and all that stuff. So my plan is to run in either modified or repaired SCCA Rallycross at first, so I get my feet wet, kind of see how it goes, see how the car shakes down, sets up, all that stuff. Reliability is my main concern with this car, as it is a 1990. Parts aren't super available for it. I mean, they are, but they're not crazy. Available like a Subaru, or like obviously your main uh, rally cars. So like I said, my main goal is to do SCCA Rallycross, and then eventually go maybe to ARA here and there, uh, and run stage rally. Um, that's a big leap from SCCA Rallycross. Obviously, both in myself and the car. The car has to be set up completely differently. I am going to be in a completely different mindset. You're driving with a co-driver. It's a little bit more serious. So like I said, we'll start with the SCCA Rallycross and sort of go from there. So I hope you guys follow along for the journey, and I'll keep trying to update the car in some videos on as I get things sort of set up, put in, how it is to live with these modifications in a racing sense, and both, obviously it's a fun car, just driving it around. Um, so yeah, we'll go from there, and I'll, like I said, try to make some more videos as I go along, about the car and me, and we'll go from there. So thanks.